Hey, what's up, guys? It is Dan from FightWave, and today I'm joined by somebody who I've been dying to speak with for quite some time, ever since I got put onto him. You know, it's not every day that you find somebody from the Australian regional circuit. Who am I kidding? Actually, every day on the Australian regional circuit, you find somebody phenomenal to speak with, and today's guest is no exception. Today I'm joined by somebody who goes by the name of Genghis Khan, but most of you guys may know him as Kaan Ofli, obviously. How you doing today, brother? How you doing? Absolutely excited to be here today.
Doing good. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
No, yeah, definitely, man. And I have to say, once I started watching your fights, man, I immediately was a fan. I mean, huge shout out to Fight Night Aus and, you know, just a lot of the other regional guys for putting me on game to your skill set. I mean, you bring such an entertaining style, man. And first and foremost, obviously, thank you so much for your time and willingness to sit here and speak with me today. How are you doing? I know you just got out of a pro training session. Talk to me about that first and foremost, and just how's life been for you?
Yeah, good, man. Yeah, like you said, I just finished up with our pro session with all the MMA guys, amateurs and pros. We get together every morning and we get our session in. So that was a good one. And yeah, so now I'm just here with you doing this little chat, and I'll get back into my next session after this. Life's all good, man. Yeah, I guess I've flown underneath the radar for a few years, but I think it's hard for people. Yeah, to kind of what's it called? Yeah, everyone knows who I am now.
They can't deny
you
you much longer. Yeah, I mean, talking about the string of performances you've put together, obviously coming off a sensational victory in your last outing over Jarrett Wilbraham, you know, and just I think by virtue of what you do and who you train with, you've really made a name for yourself, obviously amongst the professionals, you know, training with the likes of Jack Jenkins and a lot of other star-studded professionals that are coming out of Australia's mixed martial arts circuit. You know, the name Kaan Ofli is one that's synonymous with a lot of the pros, and I think that, you know, just a lot of people have a lot of good things to say for you. You know, they speak very highly of you. I know your teammate, even Joseph Luciano, you know, he was a guy who put me on game too as well. You know, just somebody who's a phenomenal mixed martial artist in his own right. And, you know, you've just been training with a lot of these guys at the highest level for such a long time, and now finally you're getting that shine and that recognition that was so duly deserved. Talk to me, obviously, about just being able to train with these guys, being able to have Jack and, you know, someone like Joe in the gym and getting that work in with them, and obviously what it's been like to get, but it's felt like, I should say, to get that reception from these guys who are being recognized as some of the best fighters in the world.
Yeah, yeah, I've been doing this for a while now, and yeah, I've traveled around and trained with some high level people, and as for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been training out of Absolute MMA, and over the time we've created a solid crew of professionals and amateurs, and it's going amazing. Everyone's leveling up, everyone's pushing each other. There's a really good environment in the training room at the moment, and our fights are reflecting that across the board. So I believe that we're the highest level MMA team in Australia.
No, yeah, definitely. And I mean, amongst Absolute Mixed Martial Arts in Melbourne, and, you know, just one of the best gyms, I think, in terms of Australia. And I think that Australia as a whole, you know, the scene has absolutely skyrocketed in the past couple of years, especially in the pandemic, in a time where, you know, I think the Australian mixed martial arts community was probably, in my opinion, the most inspiring during the pandemic, you know, showing, obviously with the craziness of COVID, you know, everything's locked down, people are still getting the work in. They're like, you know, screw what the government's saying, we're going to go get our reps in, we got to do it by any means necessary. And by virtue of just that resilience and of that hard work and work ethic and drive, we saw a lot of guys coming through the regional circuit. And just most recently, obviously, Stephen Ersek, another great example of the buzzing regional circuit in Australia. Yourself, you know, you look at someone who you were slated to fight, who, I don't know, maybe you could fight very, very soon, Justin Van Herden. Another guy, you know, Joseph Luciano. You look at just in Australia, Kevin Josette. You know, the list goes on and on. Just even at the 145 division alone, there's like 5 or 6, 7 guys who are like absolutely at the top of that division right now. And it speaks to the depth of Australian mixed martial arts and how far it's come in such a short amount of time, despite really the support, I want to say. You know, Australian mixed martial artists, guys are really doing it for pennies, you know, truly out of the love of the game. People who are really fighting and really just doing it because they enjoy the sport, and the results come because of the passion. Talk to me about your thoughts, obviously, on being a part of this wave, and you seeing the kind of waves and first wave, second wave, third wave, and thus far, you know, just guys who are really taking it to the next level and getting those calls up. What does it feel like to be a part of this generation of Australian mixed martial arts?
Yeah, it feels really good, man, because I guess the generation before us have made waves and proven that that we're essentially the best in the world. The Australian New Zealand scene is taking over, and they've been doing it for some time. So it's very hard to deny us anymore. And I think before, the fact that Australia is just so far away from the world, I guess we kind of didn't get that recognition until recently. But yeah, like you said, man, yeah, we're the best in the world. We're the best in the world, and we can compete with the world. So unfortunately, we're a little bit far away where we can't be fighting as much, in America and whatnot. But things are changing, and yeah, things are looking promising for everyone that's coming out of Australia and New Zealand.
No, yeah, definitely. And I think the term adversity is one that can really be defined and attached to the Australian fighters. Really, everyone has a unique story and background, and Kaan, you are no exception. I think your story and your upbringing in mixed martial arts is one that really gravitated towards me, coming from that ethnic kind of descent. And just, having that family backing me, and, your father really getting you into mixed martial arts early at a young age, and then his kind of presence and his thoughts or him being the catalyst for you getting into martial arts, being the driving force behind where you have gotten to today. And then even in your fighting style, we see it almost like a kill or be killed kind of mindset in that octagon for you. And there's a reason why they've nicknamed you and coined the term Genghis Khan for Kaan Ofli, because of the exciting fighting style that you bring forward, and that kind of, militant general, really kind of crazy and high pace and great intensity you bring. And a fight that stands out to me is and I keep reaching back to this fight, is that Jared Wilbraham fight, where you experienced some early adversity and you really pushed through that, and you came back and brought forward a sensational performance. Talk to me just about, obviously, the adversities you faced as a fighter, and just really being able to push through that and reflect that in your fighting style, showing that, not only outside of the octagon, but inside the octagon, you can overcome these difficulties and shortcomings.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Australia alone, I think if you come from Australia, you're going to be hard, so we're all tough out here. And as for my personal life and my upbringing and hardships that I've gone through, it's only reflected into my own training and in my fights as well. So you watch any single fight of mine, they're all exciting. And like you said, I'm always kind of kill or be killed type of mentality when I step in there. I'm always looking to conquer and take over no matter where I am. Yeah, so I've just, instead of it, all the hardship and whatnot, I've just let it fuel me. I've let it fuel my training and my ability to kind of push harder in training and keep leveling up. And and when it comes to the fights, man, you've got to finish me. Otherwise, it's going to be a very hard night in there for you. So yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. And I think that kind of just, once again, like you said, Australians are kind of like this hard-nosed, really put your boots to the ground, hard worker kind of people. And I think it, like you said, it reflects it beautifully in the fight game, and also just in the passion throughout the sport. Obviously for you, you've traveled the world in this pursuit of becoming a better mixed martial artist, in this pursuit of becoming a better person, and more importantly, you've exposed yourself to a lot of different environments. Talk to me about just what it's been like to travel the world and really see more of what life has to offer through fighting. Visiting the beautiful, beaches of Thailand, or just anywhere. I know you were in Bali more recently. Just traveling the world and really being able to see what the world has to offer through the scope of fighting.
Yeah, well, traveling alone is one of my hobbies. Yeah, I love having new experiences and seeing new places. But early on in my career, when I struggled to get fights, it was traveling was the decision I made to try and stay active. So, and at the same time, I'm really grateful that I had the experiences that I've had and being able to travel and fight in different countries. It's given me a lot of experience in life, but also in fighting too. The element of different time zones and traveling and, sleeping in crazy hotels and whatnot. That alone is not easy. People tend to find it hard to kind of leave their comfort zone. So I don't really have a comfort zone, to be honest. And that's why I found it easy to kind of travel and fight. And at the same time, I've learned a lot. I've met a lot of amazing people. Anyone young that's kind of coming up, I would say I would give the same, advice on early on. If you can travel to fight, or if you can travel to train, you're going to learn so much about yourself. So yeah, I'm really grateful that I've had them opportunities, and I wonder where I'm off to next.
No, yeah, definitely. And even just in terms of putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, I feel like really you get the best out of it when you go traveling. You're really not knowing what is in front of you, what there is to offer, and just going into it head first and really making the most of the situation. And then in terms of just, being inspirational, not only does your story resonate with a lot of people, but you also come from a background that I feel like is obviously underrepresented a little bit in mixed martial arts. You're very proud of your Turkish roots and of being from that region, obviously walking out with the flag a couple of times. Talk to me about what it's like to be an inspiration for those people, or for the Turkish people. For me, despite, I'll say it full transparency, I'm Armenian, so like people often think it's like this conflict, but I really feel like you've been an inspiration for just your people, and really being a beacon of what you can do in the world of mixed martial arts. And it's inspirational to look at it from the outside forward. It's just remarkable. So talk to me about that a little bit.
If you know me, I guess like I'm probably one of the biggest Australian Turks you've met. I'm quite an Aussie, and I guess that's just because I'm born here. But yes, I do have that background, and both my parents are Turkish, and I do have that blood running through me. And I'm proud of it because, Turkey is a powerhouse, so we've got a big population. There's a lot of history with Turkish people, when it comes to everything, really. So, yeah, I just try and embrace that a little bit. And, in the future, I would like to represent both Australia and Turkey, on the big stage, and make some waves, in Turkey as well. We've got a lot of amazing athletes over there that are doing great things, but probably not in MMA. So I'd like to be one of the first, Turkish MMA fighters, or Australian Turkish MMA fighters that really makes some noise on the world stage. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think like you said, I think in MMA, it's definitely more of an underrepresented country in MMA, despite the large population. But you've got guys like, I don't know if you saw the Khamzat clone, the Khamzat Mayev guy, who I think is Turkish Russian, and then I know Gökhan Saki, obviously a big catalyst for the propulsion of Turkish mixed martial arts. I think, despite obviously the history between things, it's like, for me, looking in from the outside, just wanting every country to succeed in the sport, and just something like that, it's really inspiring just to have somebody or be in that position to inspire the generations coming up, and give people from your country, more importantly, hope that they can succeed. Seeing living proof or a living embodiment of it. Also, obviously, you're born in Australia, but like you said, your blood is Turkish blood. The kids can resonate to that upbringing, that cultural upbringing, to some extent. So for me, it's just inspiring to look at it from that point of view. And obviously, Kaan, thank you so much for just your time. Really being able to speak with you and be candid with you, and just talk to you man to man, just have a great conversation. Obviously, momentum on your side is at an all-time high right now. You're on an absolute tear right now. You're doing phenomenal things in the Australian regional bracket and circuit. Are there any personal goals you have? Just as a person, or any competitor goals? Obviously, there is that UFC 293 card in Sydney. I know you'd be probably gunning to get on that card. Talk to me about, is that the goal, or are there any other goals? Maybe Contender Series? What are some goals for you?
Look, yeah, definitely. My main goal right now is getting into the UFC or any other huge, promotion. Obviously, UFC is the largest one, and I believe if the matchmakers, simply sat down and watched my fights, they would love me and sign me straight away. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's just a matter of time. I put the work in. That's my main goal. Of course, I've got other goals in life, but it all kind of comes back down to supporting my family and giving back to my family. We've gone through a lot of hardships, and it still is hard. Like you said, a lot of fighters will basically do this for free, or it's a huge investment until you kind of break through into the world stage. So it's not easy. It's not easy, especially if you don't have much support coming from friends, family. But I'm thankful that I've had some good people around me, and I've got amazing training partners and coaches, and we've been able to stay on this journey. And Yeah, man, that's my main goal. That's my main goal, to be able to make UFC, to be able to make some money, and provide a good life for my family.
I mean, a remarkable goal, and I think obviously, just one that's really rooted in love and passion for everyone and everything around you. I mean, thank you so much, Khan, for your time, for being very candid and open with me, and just for the good energy. Obviously, I think just it goes without saying, I'm a big. I've said it multiple times, but I'll say it again. I'm a fan of your fighting style. I think that what you bring to the octagon and what you bring to Australian mixed martial arts is amongst what a lot of other fighters bring, and that's just that amazing fighting style, that willpower, and that drive to be something greater and represent the land down under, and your own personal roots to a whole nother level. And for that, I thank you so much for your time, for your good energy, and I look forward to watching you in that octagon. Hopefully, fingers crossed, very, very soon at UFC 293 in Sydney. I think that a lot of people and a lot of Turkish fans will be very happy about that. And it's been me, Dan, from FightWave, guys. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this interview. Do be sure to check out Genghis Kaan Ofli on Instagram. I'll be linking his social medias in the description down below. Do be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day, guys.